Hello everyone, J Blunt 23 here, also known as Faye Dancer 4. I wanted to come and talk to you guys about something that just really been weighing on me that I've been thinking about, but it bothers me a lot, and I see it not only I see it all around me, and I also see it in my own family. So I really just wanted to, kind of express my feelings about it. It's about parenting, okay? No, I don't have any kids, so how the hell would I know anything about parenting? But it's some things that are just common sense, and some things that people bring children into this world, and then they don't lead them in the correct way, in my opinion. Okay, so no, I don't have any kids. That was on purpose. And I've never been married. That's why I've never had any kids. So, that's the way it is. Okay, so with parenting, we bring, people, you have kids, yes, they're blessings, they're lovely things, but they also, just like we went through our journeys in life, are still, and we are still going through them, they have to do the same thing. So it's very important for parents to lead their children in the correct way. Okay, that means instilling values in them. Um, just something as simple as having rules. Having rules and them having to abide by them, not having a choice whether they're going to follow the rule or whether they're not going to follow the rule. Um, simple common sense things like that. We have kids that are young, like, let's say in the beginning ages, like maybe 3 or 4. The things that are coming out of their mouth, what they are saying, they're cursing, they saying all kind of stuff, they're being disrespectful, and they're just 3 or 4. They're telling their parents what to do, and the parents are listening to them. Now that's a problem. But it starts when they're small, but as the problem progresses, and nobody does anything about it, they become older. They become teenagers. They become teenagers that rebel. They become teenagers that do whatever they want. They become teenagers that make bad choices. You know, um, and then you know what that leads to. You make bad choices. Especially when you're a teenager, you can easily slip off the straight and narrow path, and you can go into something you're not supposed to be doing, like drugs, stealing, killing. It's going around all the time, and to me, it's really happening because of the way the children are led. Now, yes, we have where we come from different backgrounds. Most single parent homes, some people don't have. It's very rare these days that kids do or are born into a family where they have two parents, um, that are together. Maybe you still do have two parents, but they're separated. That does make it hard in a way. That does make it hard. But at the same time, you know, things need to be instilled in them. Because they grow up and they make bad choices. Now we are adults now, and the parents, like my parents, they're way older than me. So who do you think are going to be taking care of them once they get too old? That's going to be my generation. And then who's going to be taking care of my generation when my generation get too old? It's going to be these young kids. But they're out of control. They act like people can't do it. People act like they can't do anything about them. They throwing them to the systems, throwing them in jail. It's just ridiculous if you ask me. Okay, so parenting, what I think should happen. This is my thoughts. No, I don't have any kids. It's for a reason, but yes, I do have thoughts on parenting. So, my first thought on parenting. Don't ever give up on your kids, okay? Don't ever give up on your kids. I don't care what kind of problems they're causing you. don't give up on them, because the main thing is that they're all causing you problems, most likely because you have not done everything you can to teach them the correct way, you know. So sometimes you have to look back at yourself, just like in any situation in life. We all have to look back at ourselves and see what are the things we are doing right and what are the things that we are doing wrong, and try to change and make that, make that better. I know there's no handbook to parenting. There's no, way you can actually prepare for it. And most of us, we teach our children what we learned when, what our parents taught us. And then some of us, maybe we didn't like the way we were brought up. So we're going to make sure we teach our children the exact opposite of how our parents brought us up. So that's something. Another thing, rules. Just regular rules around the house. There's no way that your teenager should be walking around, coming home, and not having absolutely nothing to do. I'm sorry. There's no reason for that. They should have to do their homework. That's first. Get your schoolwork out of the way. They should have some kind of chore. Keep your room clean. Wash the dishes. Things of that sort. They should have some kind of things that they can get into. And if they also not just have chores, get them into activity. Get them into the arts. Get them into, anything extra. They have all kinds of extracurricular activities. They have bands. They have baseball teams, football teams, They have cheerleading. They have dance these days. They have a lot of after-school programs that are in place, for your child to get extracurricular activities where they can get involved in, and not just, be bored and then have the choice to get into, bad things. So we have that, and then another thing, start them from small. Start them from little. When you're little, you don't have that much responsibility. But, when you're old enough to mess up your room, they can be old enough to put their toys back in the corner, or, just something as simple as that. We have to have boundaries and rules in place. And as parents, you cannot just, oh, they didn't follow the rule, oh, it's okay, and give them a pass. Because if you do that, they're going to do that again. And, they're gonna keep on, oh, my mama said this, or my daddy said this, but they don't really mean it. I cannot do it, and I'm still going to get whatever I want. These days, you can't do that. You can't hand kids everything on a silver platter. You cannot do that. You have to let them know, that if they work hard, then a reward comes from that, But if they don't do anything at all, they don't do the things that they're expected to do, the things that they're supposed to do, then nothing is going to come from that. They're going to have to suffer the consequences, which is, if you don't do anything, then anything won't be done. You won't get nothing. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing, And then another thing, everybody goes through their teenage phase, I went through it when I was young, I was 14, I think I started at about 14, I said to my mama, I said whatever I wanted to say, and I had a smart mouth, I really did, but I got my smart mouth from my mother, I really did. That's why I learned it. You gotta think about that. Your children do the things that you have taught them. That's what they do. They do the things you taught them. They do the things that they see. They do the things that they are around. So you have to watch what you do and what you say in front of your kids at all times. I don't care how old they are. You still have to watch what you do and say. So, lead by example. That's the main thing. Lead by example. Now, they do have some cases where children are brought up and they do, brought up in good homes, brought up in the right way, and they still do, they still do make bad choices, but in that case, you still don't give up on your child. You don't say, oh, they're just doing this and doing that and doing that, and I'm washing my hands with them. I'm done. You know, you have to know in your heart that you did everything you could for that kid. You know, that you did everything you could to help them, and everything, you know, that you could to keep them on a straight and narrow path. You have to make sure you do that. You know, it got so many people just giving up on their kids, you know. And guess what? Guess where their kids are? The people that give up on their kids, they're in the system. They're in the juvenile and detention centers. You know, as soon as they make 18, they're in the prison. You know, so that's some things you gotta think about. Or they really get involved and really get bad, and they give their life to the streets. You know, and that's not something that you want your child to, you know, come to. You don't want that. You know, so it's just a lot of stuff. So that's my thoughts on basic parenting, you know. And, you know, if you know you've done everything that you can and you haven't let your child slip and slide and get away with whatever they want, you know, and you have this expectation of them, you know, that they're just not doing, I mean, excuse my French, but there's nothing wrong with a good ass whooping, you know. Nothing's wrong with that. The Bible say you spare a rod, you know. You don't want to do that. So, you know, beating, a good butt whooping, ain't nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. So, that's my thoughts on parenting. It just really kind of was bothering me, you know. Like I said, I've seen it in my own family and even around me, like in other places, and it's just ridiculous. You know, these kids are running their parents. They telling their parents what to do and what they want, and you know, like they work a job and pay bills or something. They just getting over. And if you continue to let your child think that that's the right way to go, then don't be surprised when they make bad choices. Don't be surprised when they are in the system. You know, because to me, that means you've given up your child. And if you bring a child in this world, you should never, ever, ever give up on your child. And that's just how I feel, you know. That's why I feel strongly about having kids out of wedlock. Hey, do what you do. Everybody make mistakes. Some people just do it just cause, you know, but you know, that's not my preference, because if I bring a child in this world, I'm going to be married, and it's going to be a 2-parent family home, and that's how it's going to be. And my child's going to be raised up in the right way. You know, that's how it's going to be. They're going to have values. They're going to have things instilled in them from the time they come out the womb. Okay? No time wasted. All the way up. They're going to know what's expected of them. They're going to know what's right and what's wrong, and they're going to know how to make good choices in life. And that's just how it's going to be. So, yeah, that was a lot, but thanks for watching, and I will be also putting a post on my blog about my opinion about parenting, so check it out, www.fakedancer.wordpress.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.